Title: Unsinkable Ships, The Terrible Tragedies of the Titanic and Beyond, an in-depth analysis and comparison. In the annals of maritime history, few events have captured the collective imagination, quite like the sinking of the RMS Titanic on the cold, moonlit night of April 14, 1912. This colossal ocean liner, stretching a staggering 270 meters, 886 feet, was cutting through the Atlantic Ocean, boasting state-of-the-art technology that earned it the dubious reputation of being unsinkable. Despite the proximity of the iceberg-laden Bering Sea, the ship's crew maintained its speed, reaching an impressive 22 knots, 47 km/h, or 25.3 mph. As midnight approached, a deafening crack echoed on the starboard side, and the Titanic, with an iceberg of equally impressive dimensions, came to a halt. The iceberg gouged a 90-meter, 295 feet hole in the ship, and seawater gushed in at an estimated 7th tons per second. The passengers aboard remained relatively calm. The Titanic was famously billed as unsinkable, and it was thought that even with 4 compartments damaged, the ship could remain afloat. But that evening 6 compartments were damaged, and the ship's fate was sealed. The tragedy unfolded as the ship sank, taking with it 1,014 lives. Only 712 individuals, just 32% of the total, survived this disaster. The sinking of the Titanic was not an isolated incident. Throughout maritime history, numerous ships have met tragic ends, each with a story as heart-wrenching as the Titanic's. Here are 3 other ships with equally harrowing stories. 1. Qiangya, 1948. In the midst of China's civil war, thousands of refugees fled before the encroaching communist army, finding solace in the para-hot Qiangya. On December 4, 1948, the ship sailed officially, carrying 2050 refugees, almost double its intended capacity. About 80 kilometers, 50 miles from Shanghai, disaster struck when a powerful explosion rocked the stern. The shallow water prevented the ship from sinking completely, and it settled to the bottom of the river, leaving the remaining deck still visible. Sadly, those who survived the explosion died quickly, as the water flooded almost the entire ship. The radio room, located on the lower deck, also flooded before a distress signal could be sent. Approximately 3,192 people perished in the Qiangya, making it the worst maritime disaster in China's history. 2. Doña Paz, 1987. On December 20, 1987, passengers boarded the ferry Doña Paz in the Philippines, bound for Manila. The ship, measuring 93 meters, 305 feet, was designed to carry 1,500 to 1,800 passengers, but a bribed crew crammed 4,400 people on board. At 6:30 on December 20th, Doña Paz set sail from the island of Leyte, expecting to arrive in Manila at forecast the following day. Despite the crowded conditions, everything seemed normal until 2030, when Doña Paz collided with a vector tanker. Despite good visibility and calm seas, the ships appeared not to notice each other. The collision ignited a fire on Doña Paz, which spread quickly, claiming the lives of many. Rescue vests on Doña Paz were inflatable belts, which offered little buoyancy to those who jumped into the oil-slicked water. Only 26 survivors were rescued, making the Doña Paz disaster the deadliest peacetime maritime disaster, with an estimated 4,000 people lost. 3. Wilhelm Mustermann, 1945. At the end of World War II, the Soviet army advanced westward, and Germany began Operation Gnebel, forcing thousands of Germans to flee. On January 30, 1945, the transport ship Wilhelm Mustermann sailed from the port of Dynia, Poland, bound for Kiel, Germany. The ship, 28 meters, 92 feet long, had a capacity of 1,465 people, but on that day there were over 10,000 passengers on board, 6.5 times the norm. None of the passengers knew that a Soviet submarine, S-13, was lurking beneath the surface, watching the ship, At 21, the submarine fired 3 torpedoes, striking Wilhelm Mustermann in the stern, nose and middle. Those who survived the initial attack rushed to the deck, escaping the rising water, but most of the lifeboats were frozen to the ship's side. When the ship began to roll onto its left side, only 9 lifeboats were lowered before it sank, and most passengers had to jump into the frigid Baltic Sea. Many lost consciousness within minutes due to the water temperature dropping below 4 degrees Celsius. Only about 1,200 people were rescued, making the Wilhelm Mustermann disaster the deadliest maritime disaster in history, with an estimated 9,000 passengers perishing in the Baltic Sea. As we commemorate the tragic loss of lives on the Titanic and these other ships, it's important to remember the lessons learned from these disasters. Stricter safety regulations have been implemented, and the memory of these disasters serves as a reminder of the importance of caution and preparation when traveling on the seas. But the stories don't end here. There are numerous other, lesser-known ships with equally tragic stories. The SS Grand Camp, for instance, exploded in the port of Texas City, USA in 1947, causing a chain reaction of explosions and resulting in the loss of 581 lives. The MV Derbyshire, a British cargo ship, sank in a typhoon off the coast of China in 1980 with the loss of all 44 crew members. The MV Doña Paz, a Philippine passenger ferry, collided with the MT Vector oil tanker in 1987, leading to a massive fire and the loss of an estimated 4,386 lives. These tragedies serve as a stark reminder of the dangers that exist on the seas and the importance of safety measures. They remind us of the human cost of neglecting safety protocols and overcrowding vessels. As we remember the lives lost on these ships, let us strive to ensure that such tragedies never happen again. Let us learn from the past and build a safer future for all who sail the seas. Furthermore, it's essential to explore the psychological and societal implications of these disasters. The sinking of the Titanic, for example, led to a significant shift in public opinion regarding the concept of the unsinkable ship. The disaster highlighted the dangers of overconfidence in technology and the importance of human judgment and caution. Similarly, the Qiange disaster exposed the plight of refugees during China's civil war and the lack of regard for their safety. The Doña Paz disaster underscored the need for proper regulation and enforcement of passenger limits on ferries, while the Wilhelm Mustermann disaster served as a grim reminder of the human cost of war and the desperate flight of refugees. In conclusion, the tragic stories of the Titanic and other unsinkable ships serve as a poignant reminder of the dangers that lurk on our seas. They remind us of the importance of safety measures, the human cost of neglecting safety protocols, and the need for caution and preparation when traveling on the seas. As we remember the lives lost on these ships, let us strive to learn from the past and build a safer future for all who sail the seas. May their memories serve as a beacon of hope and a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity.